recap. So hopefully you studied and watched.
Okay.
So
welcome to the RVA Rap Elite Recap Podcast, episode 33. We are 1 week removed from the great event that it was.
You know what I mean?
Those that were in attendance, know.
Mm-hmm.
We want to give a big shout out to all the MCs involved, all the Open Cypher MC, as well as the Cypher versus Cypher MCs. That was another classic that went down.
Facts.
So
that shit was dope.
You were able to be in the. You definitely got a treat. For sure, got a treat in that. Let's see who's tuned in. Let me go ahead and share this broadcast.
Yeah, I'm about to do this. I'm about to log on to the joint and watch.
Let's see who's tuned in. Let me go ahead and share this. Quiet now.
Let me pull a list up. Oh shit.
Who in the chat? Simone J. You see you. What's goody? Be over here chat watching.
Word, I need to get the chat up too. You know what I'm saying?
Default image straight because it's still showing the Lyricist Lounge joint. I need to get that somehow.
Get the chat up too, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Share here.
Or you got mute that. You know what I mean?
What?
Whoever's playing the YouTube.
Oh shit. Damn, that shit loud as bro. That shit way the fuck over there. God damn. That's crazy. All right, I just put it on mute.
I couldn't even hear it.
That's good ears, bro.
All right.
Nice.
So here we are, guys. Another dope Open Cypher.
This is true.
There was more history made. Mila Mansa became only the second MC to ever three-peat. She joins the ranks of Basic.
Yeah. Basic
is the only MC to ever three-peat prior to Mila Mansa doing that. She did that in double sudden death.
Fire.
She's put herself firmly in the lead for the MVP this season. It's going to be very difficult to pull that away from her at a particular point in time. There are only a couple of MCs that have titles this season that if they were to be able to sweep the next 2 episodes, they can make an argument. Tone has 2 wins, which means if he was to sweep the next 2 episodes, he would be in the lead for wins, which I think would give him a stronger argument than anyone else, and actually probably favored to be MVP. But he has not yet signed up for episode 34. And we do still have about 6 slots left. If you're watching this, we do have about 6 slots left for episode 34. So, please do. We would love to have you. But we had a dope cypher. So let's get into our top 10 for that episode. Another note that came in from Stat Central. Shout out to Frank. is that the only MCs to have multiple wins in Rap Elite history are Basic, Mila, Tone Red, Vintage, Trademark, and Chris Madison.
Okay.
Nice.
So shout
That
out
was efficient.
small class, and out of 4 full seasons, that's a small group of it. That goes to show you how difficult it is not only to win one, but especially to make lightning strike twice. That's definitely, it's not an easy thing to do.
Not easy at all.
So, I always try to make that clear, to the MCs, is like, it's about what you go in there and do, on any given Sunday, anyone can come out the champion. So let's talk about it. Double sudden death. That means she went through sudden death. The first sudden death, she did not have the highest score in the first round. The first round, she had a 28. 2 MCs bettered her score with a 28.5. They did not get a full point ahead, so we did see a sudden death. Rel Life with a 28.5.
Cusp.
Great verse. I love how, when Rel's cooking, it's punches, it's current events of what's going on in the season. He's dropping names, but not just dropping names for the sake of dropping names. He's being very clever with it. High performance style. Yes, absolutely. He's been bringing, the whole game to the table. He definitely had a verse in the first round that was a winning style verse. It just didn't quite edge out the remaining field enough for him to not have to go to sudden death.
Right.
So we saw Real Life, we saw Chance Fisher. Chance Fisher also came in there blazing, great vocal projection, punchlines, metaphors. Being Chance Fisher, being the veteran MC, as he has each time that he stepped up into this season. It's amazing he hasn't won one yet. It goes to show how unpredictable this season has been, or just how difficult the field is in general at Rap Elite. When you have an MC as talented as Chance, that comes in and does not playing around.
Yeah, he ain't playing.
But doesn't actually pull out the win. So in the sudden death, I don't think Chance prepared for a sudden death. He had a little bit of something that was good, but it was very, very short. I think he may only rap for like 25, 30 seconds or something in a sudden death. So he kind of forfeited that. Mila came and did what she does. She brought the flow, she brought the wordplay, she brought the slick lines.
She's insane with it.
Double entendres.
Right.
Very laid back. She was very laid back this whole episode.
She was.
Her first round verse was very laid back. It kind of took a minute to even get.
I re-listened to it, man. That joint, it was crazy.
It was very layered, man. When she
it was crazy.
The different bars. Man, I want to run it back. She said, I didn't get to write my notes down, but I just remembered like something pokey at spleen. That's a yard bar. That's how she ended it.
Yes.
It was like before that, it was like
she was doing. She had the whole. That's a bar. That's a this bar. That's a that bar. She was.
Yeah. It was crazy, man. It definitely super, super layered. Super. It's like, and the way that she delivers it. If you're not catching it, this time it wasn't as flow. It wasn't as bouncy. I think it kind of weave us in with the pattern, the flow pattern that she has in the previous episode. So it kind of like you really had to listen to catch what she was doing. But once you get down and once you get to it, it's like, man, she's really getting crazy in there. So in the sudden death, she brought what she brings. You know, it was standard Mila, it was dope. I thought Rel had the biggest line. It was a long setup with I think it was the COD line where he say
the 21 joint?
Upright. He said the upright down.
Yeah, he broke down the controller joint, the controller code for Contra or some shit. Was that it?
I don't think it was Contra. Was it? I thought it was COD or something. Let me pull up. Let me see if I.
You got his verse? You can pull it up.
See if I could pull it up. That was the one that actually separated him.
In that second in the sudden death, right?
Sudden death. That's the one that.
Because we thought it was freestyle. I thought it was freestyling at one point until he brought that shit back. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like, and you know, I think for him, it was like he took a long time to get to that point. So that's kind of like that was enough to get him there.
Right.
You know, get him through that first sudden death, but not to edge him over Mila. And then we saw Mila and Rel again in sudden death. Mila again with a consistent 1 minute bars, metaphors. You know it. Rel did not prepare for a double sudden death.
Nah, nah. It's rare.
Yeah, and you know
it's rare.
And that just goes to show you Mila's fitness for this. You know, it just goes to show you her fitness. She's fully prepared for war.
Facts.
Ever since she, you know, realized what the field was about. Since she's been back, she's been fully equipped for it. And you know, it's incredible actually, because I didn't think we were gonna see her. I didn't know what to expect when she started that verse, because like there was a lot going on at that time. But then as you got deeper into the verse, it was just like
she started going, especially like I remember when, you know, y'all the reaction you guys had from her first appearance when she won without a sudden death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
I think that's what makes her season and her stats even that much more special, is that she's now has it's a moment to win in double sudden death. That's an accomplishment, right?
Yeah, that's a battle of attrition.
And a super accomplishment to win without having to have a sudden death.
Hello, that's rare.
That's something that no one had done. The double sudden death, maybe only 2 or 3 people have done.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then the one sudden death win in the middle of that. So it's like, you know, she's showing that she's able to set herself apart no matter how deep the waters are. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's really, really, really interesting.
I like how she juggles. She ties in some sporting events in our bars as well. You know, for a female, of course, you know, some wouldn't think that, but she be hitting with those joints too.
Well, I think in general, what it is that I think also makes her bars stand out is that she uses a lot of current events in general. Across culture genres, whether it be entertainment, sports, a lot of current event bars, which, you know, that's kind of cheat code for ciphers. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be relatable. You know what I'm saying? That's what gets reactions. You know what I'm saying? You want to be relatable, and if you can pull on something that everyone's currently thinking about or paying attention to, it's going to help your bar stand out, especially if you can do it in a clever way and it's not just like some corny shit you just threw together. You know what I'm saying?
Simone J said, "Let her be a manager. Make her a manager."
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Shade.
You know, it sound like some hate.
Yeah, it's some shade.
I call it
shade like shit. Hey, Simone J in her battle bag, bro. She ready. She coming for heads.
Don't battle me. Don't
Don't
battle
come for us.
Don't come for us. Put it in your bars, okay? That's all I can tell you. I don't know what to tell nobody. It's a fair fucking fight out here.
Yeah, I'm in. Whoa.
Get up there and fight. Shit's all on camera. So all right, moving right along.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Next.
So we talking about number 4, 804 Rel. 804 Rel, another super solid verse. Performance. I thought his energy was a little
off.
Not off. Just subdued, which is fine. We just said this about Mila, but I think with Rel, it just
he was in his bag.
He's always in his bag. He's never not in his bag. Nah. Rel is almost never not in the top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Like
he's
that is a fact.
Always in the top 5. That is a huge statement. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge thing to be able to say. Always dope with the wordplay. I don't think there were I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a lot of dope lines in Rel's round. I don't know what a manager is. Like, what is a manager? Anyway, we're not paying attention. What is a manager?
Yo, she wildin', dude.
There's somebody that. All right.
You want to be?
Yeah. 804 Rel is, like I said, super consistent. I just feel like, and this is, we said this before, sometimes it's just there's just has to be something that sets you apart in your verse and in your round from the rest of the pack. And I feel like the quality of his verses puts him up at the top of the heap. But when you get to the top of the heap, there's not those moments that move the crowd, moments that necessarily move the judges. I feel like I'm listening and I'm like, yo, you're rapping, but there's not the lines that necessarily, like, they might make my ears perk up, but they're not gonna necessarily make me audibly yell or you know what I'm saying, or say something. And that may not be from lyrical content, it may just be delivery. He has a way of kind of just like consistently laying the delivery out, in a one monotone kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't always help in separating yourself in a cipher situation when you get to the top scores. Jaws, first timer.
Where's he from?
He was fire.
He from Richmond?
I don't know. We don't have no bios on.
I do believe he's from Richmond. Yes. Crazy wordplay. I think there was a little bit of him not rapping too great into the mic, so I couldn't hear everything.
He was getting winded at certain parts.
He was getting winded at certain parts.
He was fire, but I feel like if you're gonna do, you know what I'm saying, he was kind of on like the lyrical miracle kind of style, and I feel like a lot of what he was saying you couldn't really
dissect,
you know what I'm saying, in the moment.
Right.
And that's important if you're in the cipher and you trying to
win
the joint.
Yeah.
Want to be understood a little bit, but he was fire. Like what I was catching was fire, and how he was stringing the words together was crazy. Like his flow.
Right. He had a really dope flow too. And I like this confidence. You know what I'm saying? I like this confidence, especially being a first timer and coming in. He was like, you know, he started his verse. I like, y'all ain't gonna be ready for this one. And you know, that don't mean nothing because we done heard plenty of people say shit like that, think it up. You know, in fact, that's usually like an indicator somebody about to stink it up. But it was a pleasant surprise to see that, you know, he had definitely taken it seriously.
Yeah, I don't think we seen nobody like kind of like him. You know.
No, very different style. Very different style.
Very different. I hope he comes back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely want to see homie back. The return of Chuck Dolo. I felt like, you know, I kind of, you know, he was like one of the first standout verses that night where it was like, oh, okay, you know, Cass is coming to play.
I'm checking.
And I think he could have scored higher. I mean, he got a 26. It's not a shabby score at all, but I liked how he was punching, man. I liked his punching. I liked how I liked how confident he was. He was taking some jabs. You know, he said he was coming in to stop Mila's three-peat. I forget what the line was. He said, like, who? Oh man, this is the problem of being a week removed. I didn't get to review all of the videos yet.
All the videos.
I'm gonna definitely see these verses. But yeah, no, Chuck Dolo. That was one of the better Chuck Dolo verses I've seen. Obviously we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
But it's just, to me, it's just a precursor of what's to come. He signed up for episode 34.
Good.
I thought his joint was fire, but I don't think it was more fire than Luxury Prize joint. You know what I mean? And y'all both scored him higher than Prize.
I thought Prize was crazy too. I liked, and he's the next step on the list.
Sure is. Good segue.
They actually scored the same. They both had a 26. I gave them both the same score of a 9.
Yeah, and I gave Prize a 8.5.
You gave Prize an 8.5, and you gave Chuck Dolo a 9, and Ease gave him an 8.5 and gave Chuck Dolo an 8. I thought they were, you know, equivalent. I thought Prize, I loved Prize's spirit and the energy, and he was very aggressive, and he had some things to get off his chest.
Yeah.
I liked some of Chuck Dolo's punches, like the content a little.
That's what scored higher for me.
I liked how Prize rapped better than Chuck Dolo rapped.
Yeah, Prize got him. He got back into his normal bag, what he was, you know, what we used to. And for me, when I rated him on this last episode, it's kind of like I felt it was the same that I was used to seeing him as, you know, aside from, you know, what we got in the previous episodes. From me judging him before, I kind of felt like it was almost, it kind of felt like the same flow pattern, and it just didn't go up, or, you know, it didn't go up for me any further than what I scored on that.
No, that makes perfect sense. And I feel the same way. And I feel like, you know, it's just, to me, it's just a style difference between the two. But as far as like the level of rapping, they did different things, but I thought they were pretty much equivalent.
Yeah.
In those performances. Robaloo. Now that's a person who I feel definitely should have got a higher score. I point my finger at Spielberg because Spielberg gave him a 7.5. Robaloo was rapping his ass off.
He was.
I would like,
my bad.
I would like for everyone to review that verse. because Robaloo definitely brought some thunder with this one. I gave him a 9.5. He ended up with a 25. So
I was a Russian judge.
He started
My bad, bro.
Slow,
and I think that's what got me, bro.
And then he started to get in his.
Then he started to rev it up at the end. I was gone after that. I was gone in the beginning.
I know,
and I got to stay in. That's my bad. I got to stay in that and judge on that part because I kind of tuned out on the slow part.
There's sometimes like his passion gets the best of him sometimes, and he gets like a little out of control.
That is definitely something that is, because he'll move the mic around a lot, and then you can't really hear him, and the way that he raps is very abstract anyway.
Yes.
So you kind of have to pay attention to like the internals, externals.
Like, dog, I need to hear what you're saying, like, so I can keep this together.
I mean? Absolutely. No, I think that's definitely a takeaway for Robaloo as well. But if he continue to he hasn't signed up yet. I'm not sure if he's going to be busy or what the situation is, but hopefully we can get him back.
Facts.
Key speech. Now,
Key speech,
dope as always. This is one of the lower ranked positions for key speech ever.
His verses always be more fire on the replay.
That's for sure.
We need moments.
Not always, but sometimes for sure. Because sometimes he's made the sudden death before. So I think he's been received well in the building. But his verses are always better.
But he be saying a lot of fire shit that I feel like gets lost in the sauce.
Absolutely.
It's lost in with his tempo as far as like how fast he rapping.
He can deliver the shit slicker to like make sure people know, you know what I'm saying?
Bingo.
The fly shit.
I think that I do believe there should be some more emphasis on his lyricism. Like when I say that, emphasize when you're doing something lyrical.
Right.
As far as like, especially when it comes to punchlines. Let me speak specifically to punchlines, but like part of rapping well is how you're conveying the message.
Right. Because his first line, he came off with straight off the bat, like I'm Bruce Wayne's tax accountant. That's a dope bar, but you could have spun that a little bit slicker.
Right.
You know what I mean? On some like straight off the bat, like I'm doing taxes for Bruce or something. To just give it to us a little bit more,
And that's crazy because that
swag it out.
That wording difference right there
made it sound better, right?
Is like I'm doing tax for Bruce Wayne. It's gonna take a whole different, you know what I'm saying? Like
facts.
That's a takeaway. That's a takeaway because I had to really listen to how he presented it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To catch that's what you was doing.
Yeah.
So, to not only do the dope things, but to make it so that it's digestible to and received by the audience as well as the judges, but specifically the audience. Because listen, the thing about it is, if you can get the audience to realize you're doing something dope, getting us to realize it is easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're already realizing what you're doing, even when the audience isn't recognizing it. You know what I'm saying? But if you can get them to recognize it and they react to it, it makes it all to the more better, because now it's like I don't have to force my validation of that bar on your score on the room. You know what I'm saying? Because it hurts. It's tough to score people higher that don't get any crowd reaction than someone that does. That's difficult. It's like doing it. It happens, but it's not always that well received. You know what I'm saying? Because the audience wants to understand why you're up there too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The audience want to know why you're up there, and I don't see that our audience is biased either. They typically react to what they get. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that they get, when they get it, they react to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are. Like, I mean, that goes to say for like Mila when she first came back, that verse she had. You can, if you go back and watch on camera, you can hear she's get reaction, but the reaction, you can't even hear it how it was. It was loud all through her verse. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, and you'll get that with different performances. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not getting that, but you're doing things that are dope lyrically, then you have to start to figure out what you need to do different with the way that you're presenting your material. Because if you keep doing the same thing, and I'm not saying like Key Speech is doing the same thing, because he does take different approaches, but he takes different approaches as far as presentation as a whole, but not necessarily in how he goes about delivering raps. They're all kind of still in a rapid pace. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to see him kind of space out those rhymes a little bit and see if that would allow more emphasis on what he's actually doing that's so lyrical, or even maybe like E said, change the way that he's wording some of his punches or setting up the punches. Or maybe I think that's another thing. If you're gonna punch, an effective punch has a setup. If you're not setting up your punches, you're actually just kind of spitting metaphors. You know what I'm saying? So if you wrote a metaphor that's as strong as a punch, but you didn't give a setup, that's where you're going wrong. A person like Tone Red, for instance, the reason why he punches so hard is because he always has a setup. His setups might not always be the best. When I say that, they're effective, but when you sometimes punchliners will have a weak setup, like a setup that's just there to set up the punch, so it doesn't always make the most sense, or it's not the most lyrical thing in of itself. You know what I'm saying? But it's effective enough for you to get right there in position to catch that punch. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that with Tone is that his delivery and the way that he lands his punches are heavy. You know what I'm saying? So, but that comes off the leverage of having a setup. And I'm not saying everybody needs to do setup punches, but I'm just saying these are different techniques that you can use to make what you're trying to do more effective. You know what I'm saying? So mixing these things up is always the best thing. You know, use as many weapons as you can. All right. So next up, Miss Simone J.
Simone J.
Not sure if she's here.
She should be. Well, she commented a few minutes ago.
You were saying she should have been a GM, but no, the GM spot is not for champions that
MCs.
Not for MCs that win a lot. You should win a lot. You should want to win a lot. You should win a lot. You should win. The record for most wins is 7. Mila only has 3. So, you know, I mean, we're not Hall of Faming her out yet. She's still
she still got work to go.
She's got a lot of work to do, you know.
Facts.
Getting it done though.
But yeah, she is getting it done.
She really is.
Simone J though.
24.
I'm the confidence, the flow, whizzing in and out of her bars.
Different.
She's definitely continuing to advance her style. She's coming in prepared every month. So we've seen a huge improvement from the Simone J that first pulled up on Broad Street.
Freestyle.
I'm freestyling. You know what I'm saying? Freestyling for like the first 3 months.
Miss Simone J after every line.
Right. She was, but she, you know, she comes and she be dressed to the nines, you know what I'm saying? Hair be did up, you know what I'm saying? She comes to Rap Elite with a purpose, and you can tell in how her performance comes out. And I think that if she continues to stay focused on that and improving on the lyrical dexterity,
that's it.
And that's not to say she's not doing it. She's continuing to get better in that respect as well. So if she continues to grow in that space, you're going to see Simone J become a contender for sure. And I expect that she'll win one before long. So that was our
Simone J from Harlem or something. She bringing that Harlem out there. Harlem.
That was our top 10. This, you know, we can speak on a few others. Madam V, I thought she was clear in this go round. I thought she was more confident in this go round. I still think we need
more, man.
Yeah, we need more. We need more flow pattern. We need that in the pocket. We need some more in the pocket flows, and that allow us, you know. And I don't even know if it's flows more so than rhyme structure, right? She has a very abstract way. It's kind of like spoken word with some rhymes in it over a beat. You know what I'm saying? It has a very spoken word vibe.
She's lyrical as shit.
Was to end up in like a sudden death a cappella, I feel like her style would shine a lot.
Definitely shine.
It's like, it's, you know, in some respects kind of how Fizzle was when he got in sudden death. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's his lane.
That was a little different because he ended up freestyling the whole thing, and that was just a crazy thing. But also I've heard a lot of Fizzle's rhymes. I'm like, if that was a cappella, if that was, you know, in the sudden death, it would have been a different story. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And I'm not saying she has the same lyrical level as King Fizzle. I'm not saying that either. But I do feel like there's definitely a lot of gems in the things that she's saying, and they're just not coming across over the production because she's not, you know, and this has been said before, she's not in the pocket. She's not in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? So,
she'll come for you.
You about to, you should have just left it on me this time. Now it's back on you.
Because I laugh, I didn't say nothing.
But you know,
he's about to do
because of how she does bring it.
I gave her Simone J the same.
She's right there. She's right at 12. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, you know, it's not like she's outside of the realms of, you know, you're scoring high. You know,
facts. Because we could pick up what she's saying. It's just saying it ain't grasping the crowd. Like, you know, it's not bringing everybody in to, you know, for her to be put into like the top 10,
right,
top tier rappers. Like, it's a difference.
A couple other standouts. I thought Jason, you know, we saw the return of Jason. He did dope. It wasn't one of his best ones. But I feel like, you know, the beat wasn't really his friend. In this instance, and he had told me beforehand that he was, you know, had a little bit more trouble.
Man,
did he stumble a little?
What's good?
Jason?
Yeah.
He stumbled some, didn't he?
I don't know.
Jason gonna start off my disappointment list because I was disappointed in Jason.
Yeah, I think he did stumble, bro.
He might have.
Yeah, I think Jason stumbled. That's why I gave him that's why I gave him that low score. He stumbled. I mean, he picked it up, but yeah, I wasn't
disappointed in Hijinks.
Yeah.
Disappointed in Cooler.
Oh yeah, that was like, what the hell?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which I was like, oh.
And what did Dub T do? Did Dub T mess up too? I
Yep.
forget because
Yes.
disappointed in Dub
He
T. He
but he
usually
picked it
scores
back
high,
up. Yeah.
but he usually
Oh,
scores
I thought
high,
I
man.
sent. Oh, hold on. We're bringing Mila Mansa on. Hold on. I had sent her the Zoom
And
link already. I'm thinking she's late. I'm late.
Of course, vegan. Go back to vegan.
What about Chef Token?
Chef Token also had a
he stumbled too.
He did, yeah, he did.
But you can't really hear Chef Token, man.
Yeah, like, that's another thing. He has to focus on holding the mic. Hijinks messed up too. He stumbled. Maul. First time I ever seen Maul mess up.
Bro, nah, he messed up last episode, didn't he?
Nah. I don't think so.
I think he did, bro.
No, I don't think so. I just don't think it was that crazy, but it wasn't. He didn't.
I might be wrong. But yeah, this one, I was like, damn. And Maul has the capability, of course, being in the top tier.
For sure.
That's the only thing I don't like, because he got this stage presence like a motherfucker. Charismatic. Dude got, you know what I'm saying? He got good bars. Because I'm mad that he messed up.
Yeah, so
he'd be one of the favorites.
All right, so we're trying to get Mila in here.
Mila Manson. Diva cool chick.
I just knew Cooler and Jinx was gonna be in the top 10. I just knew it.
Facts.
All right, so let's see.
But it's all good though.
Yeah, I'm sure that
they be back.
For sure. Shout out to Cooler though. She had a dope performance at the RVA Sneaker Fest. She had the band out there with her. It definitely that definitely took her performance up a handful of notches. I had people coming up to me asking me about her while she was still performing. And you know, one thing too, you know, at the end of her performance, her closing shout out was to Rap Elite and letting people know, you know, to come to the next Rap Elite. And you know, she shouted out Mila Mansa's you know, win streak and everything. So I love the community. I love the sportsmanship of what we have going on. And you know, I'm baffled as to why we're still in sign up mode. We're almost going on a week.
Yeah, like what's up?
I get it. It's the end of the season, but hey, there's championships to be had.
I'm in.
You know, so
moments to be made.
MVP is not all that matters. Trust me.
Nah. Facts.
There will be opportunities for people that are in the top 10 at the end of the season and the top 20 at the end of the season. There's a lot of things, a lot of different things that's going to be going on next season and going and on that you want to be a part of. So, you know, scoring high and having a stand, you know, being high in the standings at the end of the season is definitely important. So please, I'm not, you know, I'm not going to tell y'all that too much more. I told them in the chat, telling you now, you know, it matters to be, you know, in that top 10, top 20 arena when this season is over. All right.
Yep.
So that's just putting that out there. So these next two episodes, you know what I'm saying? These next two episodes are pivotal for a lot of folks in that respect. You know, it will be the difference maker for quite a few people.
Facts.
Very true.
So put your best foot forward.
If I know what you're talking about, this is very true.
It's gonna be a few
You can do it.
opportunities, man. So let's see. I was late on getting that link to Mila. Did she see it yet? Oh, it says she needs a meeting password. Jesus. Come on, Zoom. I don't know if there's a way for me to get that at this point.
What is she talking about?
You know how that joint do? They're probably asking for
Yeah, they sleep.
Who's sleeping?
password.
MC signing up.
Well,
People be asleep, man. I don't know why. I don't get it. I feel like we've shown enough value, but maybe you know, people gonna see.
That 3-peat might have shook them.
You know how it goes. We've
Three-peat
seen this with basic. You know, sometimes when you start seeing, we've seen it with vintage at one point. Sometimes when you start seeing people with winning streaks,
they're the favorite.
Yeah, you know,
that favorite in there.
There's a deterrent that starts to come. The morale starts to drop for some MCs when they start seeing that, especially if they're in contention. It's especially when you get past, like, you get to this 3 in a row spot, you know, because even Vintage, when he had his MVP season, he had 4 wins that season, but they were broken up in 2s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had 2, then he lost 1, and he had another 2. I think the one that he lost in the middle was to Chris Madison. Chris Madison, we would be definitely dope to have him back at some point, because you know he's one of those guys that has come in, snuck a couple wins out, and just be out. You know, I think there's only maybe one cypher he's come in and not won it. But even then, I think he was in sudden death. So he's very much so suited for this field of rapping. And I feel like if he had been able to dedicate himself to the platform, he might have had a MVP season himself.
Facts.
Trying to figure out. I don't know if it's gonna.
Why you can't get on this jank, man? What's going on?
Because there's no way for me to get. Oh, well, let me see.
Send her the link. Tell her click on the link.
I sent the link.
Tell her
the one you sent us.
Yeah.
Tell her open the link. What's she doing? Is she using the phone?
I'm trying to pull Zoom back up to see if it'll let me.
In which case?
See the password. You know why? She's probably trying to sign in from a phone.
In which case, tap the link with your finger, Shorty. Open it up in the Zoom app. Use the mic and camera on your phone. Boom, bam.
Oh, that's what she said. She referenced the cooler bar.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she did. That was tight.
And sudden death.
It was in sudden death, right?
It was.
Layers.
Oh, she popped up.
Layers.
Boom, I found it. Ah, 03.
Sure, should really make this little wire replaceable, just in case.
I'll be right back.
But nah, this shit messes up. You gotta get repping Space Jam today.
Facts.
Why that joint though? You gotta get the old joint, the original Space Jam.
I mean, it's just the one that they had in the store, man. I liked it.
Ain't nothing wrong with Bronze Space Jam though.
Facts. Shout out to Bron. Yo, Spielberg's chairs. Man.
On some real shit. If you back when we was kids, if we was presented with both Space Jams and we watched them back to back, Bronze Space Jam might have been the more entertaining one, even though the first one to me was the better overall Space Jam.
Facts. The second was more entertaining. First one was dope. Talking about Space Jam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just wow how they was throwing all they IPs out there, like all the different properties they own. Like, okay, we get it. You own mad shit.
What?
Waiting for her to see the message.
Wow.
I'm starving.
Well, we're not gonna starve Ease.
No, I mean I was just throwing it out there.
Just slightly back.
Bring the chicken through on Saturday. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yard bird.
I didn't even know they was fighting.
Bro, they've been, man, that shit. It's been a minute. I'm like, damn, I forgot about it. I ain't gonna hold you.
Is this their third fight?
They're not doing a really great job in advertising it. Right?
Nah, they're really not.
I mean,
Other than, Wilder posting shit on IG and shit.
Is this their third fight?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You'll beat Fury if Fury ain't coked up. I'm sorry, bro. That second joint, that knockout, I was like, ain't no way this motherfucker getting out. Popped up like the goddamn Undertaker.
Right. All right, so Mila is in here. There she goes.
Okay.
Peace.
Bucket low, like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What it do?
What's going on?
I'm saying, cat cock, can't see her.
What's up, champ?
Popping.
Champ. I should say.
Saying?
Champ. 3 times.
Always got
3
a different
times.
hairstyle too.
Yeah. She's a stylish one.
Yeah. Switching
That's
it
that,
up.
that's that DC.
It's Mila Mansa. 3-time champion. How are you feeling?
Are you muted? Is your mic on?
No, she's not. She's not muted.
Can't hear her.
She's
She
not
ain't saying nothing yet.
Stay focused. Keep your head in the game.
just keep. What'd you say, Dan?
Just that. Keep your head in the game. Stay focused. I just want to stay focused.
All right.
I could definitely understand. How double sudden death? How did had you previously prepared to expect that, or you just had that one in the second one in the tuck, or what was that? How did you know to have that?
What you mean? How I know to have
You know what I mean?
You talk about it.
That's
I got those.
like, I mean, you had what you supposed to have, right?
What you mean?
I don't know. I'm trying to understand, like, not having.
Well, because a lot of times
Aren't prepared.
a lot of times MCs do not come prepared for that, to go that deep. You notice that, you had two sudden death competitors. One dropped off in the first because he didn't have a full sudden death.
Right.
The second one dropped off in the second sudden death because he didn't have a second sudden death. You know what I'm saying? So, and the few times where I think we've seen double sudden deaths, usually that's how they end. One MC is prepared and the other is not. I think maybe one time there was like a double sudden death where we still had to end up just asking the crowd. I think that was the one Tone one, the first one Tone won at Champion. I don't remember who his opponent was at that particular time.
That joint was deep. The one he won.
Yeah, the very first time.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, super impressive, consistent all the way through each round. What was your approach going into your verse this time? Your first round verse.
Well, I just wanted to do something a little bit different because I felt like, I don't know, y'all just hear me keep like always just spinning punches all the time. So I just wanted to kind of like just switch it up a little bit and kind of come from a different angle, which is like, like a surgeon and like a dentist, like, operating on the mic kind of thing. Yeah.
With them
Just
bars.
kind of like a display of, I don't know, just punches after that, I guess. Yeah.
Right. No, definitely. I got that. That was how I think I described it that way, is that you were surgical with how you presented those rhymes, like very much so. Yeah, definitely. And so, I mean, what were you think? It's hard. I want to ask you, what were you thinking going into like double sudden death? But it seems like, for you, you just be ready.
Well, no, I was surprised really, but like listening, and this is kind of conversation I was having with Ro, like listening, it sounded about equal to me in the second. After we went again, and it was like, okay, so now just the third, right before the third round, like,
right,
it sounded kind of close between. I was like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like it could go either way, but then it was the same score, so it's like, oh, okay. But I don't know. I just, try to be ready, I guess. But
Are you necessarily writing to go, during, to have, enough content, to last for that particular situation?
Well, I don't know if it's always writing for that situation, because, like sometimes you could just be in a mood to write and you write some like aggressive bars. It's not really necessarily to nothing or for nothing, but you can always tweak things and you know what I'm saying, bring them up to date or make them more specified,
Yeah, you just gotta have those. I don't think nobody really plans on a double sudden death. Maybe you might write for sudden death.
What he say?
Oh, she's saying she can't hear you, Ease.
You can't hear me? Oh no,
Like,
I was saying, you just gotta have those. Like, I don't think nobody really writes for a double sudden death. You know what I'm saying? People might write for a sudden death, but double sudden death is unexpected. You just gotta have them bars and and
I think there was a time where you had bars. You know what I'm saying? You wrote a lot. You memorized bars because you never knew when you was gonna have to rap. And being in this type of field, on a as regular a basis as you guys are on a monthly basis, it's like the same thing, even though it's not like you might not have to rap any day, every day. But now that you are in something that's monthly, you don't know if you're going to have more than one rhyme. You know what I'm saying? So having those extra rounds and having them extra bars on deck serves that same purpose as it did, you know, back in that time where you could run into a cipher anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like, you know, what I used to deal with. You know, you don't know if you're gonna run into a cipher. You don't know if you're gonna go get a haircut and end up having to trade verses with somebody because you was put on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Like
you just want to rap.
Yeah, like, you know, so no, that's definitely makes perfect sense. And those that are prepared in that way are usually the ones that set themselves apart. So like you're now the only the second MC ever to have three-peated. Obviously the first woman MC to have three-peated. Obviously the first woman MC to have more than one win. And the three-peat thing you share with Basic, who is our last season MVP, also our most winningest MC of all time. He has 7 wins. And one of the things, I've said this since last episode, is that you remind me of Basic in how you approach this entire thing, not necessarily how you rap, but just your demeanor and your discipline in approaching the cipher. Is you're a little more social than him. You're not the most social MC, but you are a little more social than Basic, in the sense that Basic never ever spoke in the chat. You would have thought we didn't even put Basic in the chat.
Facts. You wouldn't have thought he signed up if we didn't post his picture.
He didn't look in the chat. He didn't speak in the chat. He hardly spoke in the building to the MCs. That's just, he was there for one thing.
Laser focus, man.
So, facts. But he wasn't a mean guy. He was a nice guy.
Basically, mad cool.
He's mad humble, mad cool. He just simply was very focused.
He wanted it.
His agenda, and his agenda was winning every time.
Dominate.
So you have that same demeanor though, where even though you are more social than he is, but you're not the most social. You're not gonna be chatting in the chat every day. You're not gonna be in the event in a, like, you know, in a group of people chatting it up for the most part before it's time for you to rap. You're gonna kind of come out of the shadows, rap. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna say your piece, and you out. But also,
you know, get assistance on the stage.
The main thing is you are.
And let us know you open the collabs, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But you are, one thing that is also very apparent is that you're always prepared for sudden death. And that is the biggest similarity, that is what links your wins to his wins. Because a lot of times, is understanding that if you are really rapping very well in the first round, if you know you've prepared a very good first round that you think should win, that you must have a sudden death round that you think can win. Because if you don't have a sudden death round, you never prepared to win. And that's the difference between you and a lot of other MCs. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time so Basic lost his first time, right? Because he didn't know about sudden death.
Yeah.
The first time ever, he just was off the street. You know, he was like, all right, boom. He got the sudden death, didn't really have it, lost. Never came back like that again. He won in sudden death every time until he had to have a double sudden death. And he lost to Habib in double sudden death because he didn't have a double sudden death. You know what I'm saying? But you, in this situation, you ran into that obstacle a lot earlier, but were prepared already. So that is a strong indicator of how focused you are, and how prepared you are to continue on your winning streak. So it's very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what happens with the next 2 episodes. You're in the firm lead, like we said earlier, for MVP. So
Facts.
Barring anyone that has already won an episode coming in and sweeping the next 2 episodes, not likely. Possible, not likely. You probably end up being our MVP, which means you'll be performing, at Flag on the Moon in December.
That would be crazy.
I mean, I hope I'm sure you're planning to win MVP. So if you're planning to win MVP, like you prepared for your sudden deaths, you should be preparing a set, a performance set for Flag on the Moon. But we're not counting any other MCs out. There are a small handful of MCs that have the capabilities to make an argument for MVP, depending upon what happens in these next 2 episodes. Those MCs would be Kula Von Seal, Era Hardaway, and Tone Red.
Tone Red, yeah.
Tone Red has the most chance because he does have 2 wins. But he would still need, I believe, he
would have to run the game.
I think he still has to sweep in order to, to be clear. I think even winning 1 and y'all equaling at 3, I think your 3
would beat his because of her no sudden death.
No sudden death, double sudden death, and consecutive.
Yep.
So that I think would be the difference maker between them if they had the same count. I think if Kula was to run the gamut, it would make for a fair argument because Kula would also have perfect attendance. And I think that is a strong conversation piece. And that she also she'll have a large total point advantage. But I don't know that's where we would have, because I mean the thing is
central.
This season, right? We have the stats and we have the conversation, the breakdown of where everybody falls, and we come to a consensus on that. So what I always say is we want to have those arguments. We want to get to the end of the season and have to debate it out to determine who's the MVP. But as we stand right now, there is no debate. But we do have 2 episodes left. Tone Red is not in it as of yet, even though we have 6 slots left. Era Hardaway is performing at the next episode, but he has not informed us that he intends to get in the cypher. So Kula seems to be at this moment the only MC that has eyes on trying to make it a debate. But I still feel like with you both having 3, I do still think that you have the advantage. I do think that would require us to have a conversation, and we would have to see, when we bust down all the stat centrals and everything, where everything falls. But also that would also depend upon where you fall in these next 2 episodes as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, but I'm excited. What is your experience now? Last time we interviewed you on this platform, I interviewed you on IG Live, but the last time we interviewed you on this platform was after you won your first one. You're in 3 now. You're You're not a newbie. You're not a person that nobody knows anymore. Everybody knows Mila. You know, so you know more people. You've developed some relationships. So like, what is your experience now, 3 championships in, you know, on, you know, with Rap Elite? How are you feeling when you're coming in the building? What has this experience been like for you?
I think this experience is different than anything else I've done before. That's for sure. And I think it's more challenging than anything I've done like this before. Because you do open mics, you do freestyle fires, you do all kinds of stuff like that. But like this is a concentrated effort, with a time clock on it. You know what I'm saying? So like that kind of makes it a little bit different because you have to focus. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Right.
and like I said before, like the first time when I came with the old rhyme, I was like, oh, because sometimes you can slide by like that.
Right.
Like, but nah. And it was like, yeah, nah, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Wait a minute. And so it's like, I don't know. Position I'm in is, not one to be envy, because I mean, I feel like I gotta work harder than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like twice as hard.
I can definitely understand that. It's it is a different experience. I always try to think about how I would approach it if I was, if I was in the MC shoes as opposed to, these shoes. What are you saying, Spielberg?
Be trash. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, what?
No, I'm fucking with him.
Look, the MCs in the chat today are doing everything to get you out of the cipher. They think you should be a GM. They think you should be a guest judge. They just, they're saying this in a complimentary manner, but ultimately, these are all positions that require you to not be rapping anymore. I don't
trying to promote you out this joint.
Like, shit, let her own the motherfucking platform. Let her host, judge, GM, something other than rap.
Damn, homie.
I don't how y'all know she's not trying to like be the most winningest MC? She's still 4 wins away from the, you know what I'm saying? Like
factoids.
Let her get her cook on. Like
factoids.
Still cooking.
Damn, ain't no love. It's like that.
No, I think it's love.
It's love.
It's love, but it's still like.
Okay, you cool, just don't rap. That's how y'all feel.
Yeah, you cool, but we don't want you to rap no more.
Let her be a GM, a judge, something.
Damn, all the way.
I know.
Building, because the GMs don't always be there, so it's like just over there on the side. In the cut. I already be in the cut.
I don't know, man. They setting the bar too low, man. They setting the bar. That's the problem, man. The bar too low. 3 wins, and they already want to put your jersey in.
Trying to put your jersey in the Raptors. Yeah.
It's not time for that yet. You ain't even got a belt yet. So we need to see this thing through. I wish that our belt holders. Shout out to Vintage A. Vintage A is the only person that, got him an MVP belt and continue to come back and compete on a monthly basis after the fact. Everybody
true.
Get that belt and get Hollywood. I ain't no disrespect to Trademark or Basic.
You know what I'm saying?
I know with Basic stepped into the battle rap realm, so I get it. It's hard to do both of those. When you're doing battle rap full time, it's hard to do the cipher. But Trademark, you know, he be on his teacher stuff, his artist stuff. So, you know, but
he up there with you.
We and and it's a bigger trek for him. He has to come all the way from Maryland. So I get it. But we would love to see Trademark back more often. And if you happen to win the belt this year, we would like to still see you around next season, Mila Mansa, you know. So I want to see somebody win 2 belts, like on some Geechee Gotti, you know, champion of the year 2 times in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got 2 belts, and 1 belt bigger than the other belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's what I'm trying to see. You know, in fact, matter of fact, if someone wins 2 belts, I will make sure that the second belt is bigger than the first belt. That's on everything. So
and
like,
the belt design is fire.
Well, the designs are always fire, but they're also customized to the liking, or not to the liking, but to the thematics and liking of said MC. So no 2 belts are the same.
Wrestler belt.
Oh, you've never seen our belts?
But a wrestler belt though.
Championship belt.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like a champion, like a wrestler have.
Yeah.
Like
you never seen it. I have to send. We have to send. Yeah.
Quality custom.
Your face on it.
The joint is it's crazy.
Yeah. All kinds of things.
Things that represent you.
Things that represent you.
Yeah.
Specifics. Very detailed.
Very detailed.
I'll send you some stuff so you can see vintage and trademark and basics belts. Yeah, they're very specific. They're very dope.
High quality.
High quality. So yeah, I mean,
high quality.
High quality. We're not.
Hey, Mila, chill.
Don't let them slice you. We're not on no WWE level shit. We're not going there. But
nah, but it's close to it. Shit, fuck that, bro. That shit close.
It's nice.
This ain't no shit you're gonna get out of fucking the toy section.
Right.
Right.
None of that shit.
Nah, you want to make sure you got a nice little, tip off to clean it with, and
facts.
22 karat gold plated and all that.
Belt case and all that.
You said 22.
There you go with the.
Man.
Yeah, so
made of vibranium out there.
Genuine Italian calf leather. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up. Imported from Rome and shit. He said Botswana.
Lined with the mink fur on the inside of the belt, you know what I'm saying? For comfort and all that.
For comfort.
This is what's on, this is what's, one of the things that's on the line. Also we do the MVP brunch. That's something that we started this year.
Yeah.
Can the judges come to that?
No.
Yeah. We all in there.
No, we in there.
Yeah, man.
I'll pay for my own shit.
No, I'm bullshitting. We in there. We all in there. Last time we had the very
it looked nice.
We had the COVID thing going on.
COVID friendly out this bitch.
That was one of the first things that we ever did.
Y'all was somewhere fancy.
We were at the Common House.
Y'all had courses.
Shout out to
courses.
Nice. Very, very classy. Shout out to Chance Fisher, who runs Common House. Very, very nice, prestigious place.
Beef Wellington and risotto out there.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Great service there. So if you do what you need to do to close out this season, then all of these things will be.
So the MVP brunch brings all the MVPs to brunch.
Yes.
Yep.
So what you could do at like season 9, 10.
You saying when I have 9, 10
MVPs, money?
We should have 9, 10 years worth of funding to be able to brunch them up. You know, this is why we have to continue growing the platform.
Elevate.
You know, those that are watching,
We're gonna do episode
sure
30.
bring your people out. You know, let's tell your people, because we need
Mila bring DC down.
We need to keep getting this platform growing and expanding.
I don't know. Then maybe the flag on the moon. You see, get some people down here for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Why you keep telling me to bring DC out? I'm from Richmond.
You from Richmond?
Mm-hmm. But I just moved.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was living in DMV for a while.
Okay. Oh, that's blessed.
Okay.
We'll bring Richmond.
What high school did you go to?
TJ.
Wow. Okay. Around the corner. Nice.
It's Jefferson.
Okay.
My bad. I thought you was still in DC. That's on me. But you're in Richmond now. So, okay, bring Richmond out then. Bring a whole TJ.
Oh, you thought she was traveling?
Yeah, I thought she was traveling. That's on me.
Oh, no.
Well, you know, I've been out the motherfucking loop for a minute too. So
I was coming down for the cipher.
yeah, I thought you was. I ain't gonna hold you.
That was me.
That too. Somebody else asked me that too.
Yeah, because when you first signed up, and I was trying to get some of your music, I had saw you tag, you know, have a few of your locations in DC. So I thought you was from DC. And I've been out the loop for some months, so please forgive me.
No, I put DC, DMV in my hashtags.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? All of it. It's all like I grew up all around this whole area. So like, you know, I just
As we all did.
like the same, you know. It's not
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a difference, but not really, you know, between like the DMV area and Richmond. For
sure. Definitely.
You know what's so crazy though is that 3 episodes ago, Mila Mansa was not in this conversation at all. 3 episodes ago. 3 episodes later, it's a firm lead for MVP. It just goes to show you how unpredictable this platform is. And you know, you just never know who's waiting in the wings to make the era their era, you know? So like, we're in a space where this could be the Mila Mansa era. You know, and we've seen that. We've seen the basic era. We've seen the vintage era. We've seen the trademark era. In order to be MVP, you kind of got to have an era in a season where it's like, where you're just kind of you're the focal point of, you know, what's going on. It's up to the other MCs to disturb that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's gonna be tons of name drops on this next episode.
But you know what's crazy is that we don't, when they speak on her name, they
it's for a little bit of respect, don't it?
Yeah, they do it gently. They do it gently. You know, it ain't like basic, man. They was dragging basic name.
Oh, that was
vintage name. Damn mud. Even Tone. Well, for 2 wins, you know, he even had Jason up there dragging his name. You know
what? Yo, yeah.
Tone hit Jason with one of the wickedest lines though, with the Jesus saying the left shit had me on the floor.
Yeah, but they don't be playing with Mila name like that. You know, I think Chuck Dolo said something about stopping her 3-peat. You know, he had that punchline, but it wasn't like a disrespectful thing.
Nah, it was real.
It wasn't like a shot. It was just like, yo, you know, I'm trying to win. That's what you're supposed to say. I'm coming to win. That's
like,
all.
Excuse me, ma'am. You mind moving, please?
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? We have not seen anybody go for her, come for her. What's his name?
No, that hasn't been.
Yo, they have not come for her. So like, that's interesting.
Facts.
Don't
like it be people that ain't never won get their name.
Don't gas nobody.
But the repeat winners usually are the name. Like that becomes a stat. How often your name gets dropped.
It is.
So it's interesting that they don't be speaking on your name crazy. If nobody says your name on some wild shit this episode, something ain't right.
Yeah.
You go stir in the pot.
Right,
Like a
he's souping
head
them
chef
up.
in the kitchen. What is you doing right now? Like
Promotion. It's
in the
promotion.
kitchen right here, like this. You try
I'm
around
just
y'all.
saying, I'm just saying they
Level up.
being a little too nice in the sandbox.
Don't listen to that man.
Look,
It'd be like,
He's
Mealy.
up in his house, kicking it in the room. You know what I'm saying? Y'all the ones that's on the stage. Like, don't listen to that man.
basically what she's saying is don't let him have you writing checks that your ass can't cash. That's what she tried to say.
And
Don't put yourself on a short list.
But Rel come for me. Rel's the one.
Rel be having, Rel actually do. He having something for all y'all ladies, but that's because y'all are the ones at the top.
Yeah.
This is I have to write a editorial about this season, about the women's reign this season. It's been incredible, actually, with the exception of Era Hardaway's win, which is crazy because
that was a moment.
Even with his win,
Cole was there.
Cole Hicks had the highest score in that first round, and she just did not feel well enough to rap in the sudden death, so therefore did not have the chance to win. But had she rapped in the sudden death, it's very possible, very likely that she may have taken that win, which would have mean from Kula to Cole Hicks to Mila. It would have been all female champions. Incredible.
Amen.
This ain't by design. This is, unless it's a divine type of arrangement, not by rap elites choices.
Y'all.
This is what the ladies have decided they were gonna make happen this year.
Facts.
So
year of the FemC.
And we have multiple. Also, there's no coincidence that we also have multiple women MCs that have perfect attendance. Simone J has perfect attendance.
Cooler.
Right.
Attendance. Cooler has perfect attendance. The dedication from the ladies this year has been something and they bring the spirit. You know what I'm saying? They bring a lot of the camaraderie. They help a lot with the community aspect of Rap Elite this year and last year. So super shout out to the ladies. Have to make sure that we put some real emphasis on what y'all are bringing to this platform.
Amen.
Because I don't think there's any other platform that can really, especially not a heavy like lyricist based platform. This is a male dominated type of situation. This is a male dominated field. And right now it's a female dominated field.
X.
So look, she's loving it.
Yeah, I love that shit. Yeah, nigga. That's beautiful.
I love it. All right, so I'm gonna let everybody go. Any last words, Mila?
No, I just want to say a shout out, respect all the spitters and everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Be easy. Peace.
Much love. October 24th. Oh man, we didn't touch on the Cypher versus Cypher is dropping. That if you weren't in the building, that was a classic moment. It was a war. It went down. That'll be dropping on the Rap Elite channel very soon. So shout out to Team Ed the Realist. Shout out to Team Illa Styles. That was just crazy. But at episode 34, October 24th, huge episode. Era Hardaway performing live. 30 MC Open Cypher, Producers Lounge, Southpaw Battle Coalition, Road to Supremacy Final Four is going down at Rapidly. So you have Will Young versus Big Genia. You got Preem versus J. Paul.
Come on, bro.
It's gonna be crazy.
Facts.
Super crazy. So make sure, if you've been following the Southpaw tournament, you definitely want to be in the building for this. It's going to be an incredible night. We're starting early. We're starting at 5 this time. Make sure that we get everything in. Man, if you love bars, yo, I don't know what else to tell you. Like,
facts.
If you love bars, if you love hip hop, if you love ciphers, you love battle rap.
Come through.
This is the place to be. The MCs will be competing. The winners of
shit, you could show me that shit.
Damn.
This nigga had the belts in the back. God damn, radio. That was a bitch.
I'm tripping.
Damn. So
the winners of this round will be holding one of the two of these, either the world title or the River City title. It just depends on who wins at Flag on the Moon as to which title they will hold. Because the winner of the winner at the final will become our world champion. The runner up will become our River City champion. The one that becomes our world champion will also walk away with $2,000 cash money on the spot at Flag on the Moon, December 5th. So here's where we're at with it. If you've been watching, the battles from round 2 will be dropping soon, so you can catch up and see what those performances look like. But we're gonna close this out tonight.
What's final predictions?
Oh, I can't do no predictions.
You can. That's right. Because you're judging, right?
So,
you still judging?
Yep. Any predictions, Ease?
For the battles?
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. It's tough. Because
that Genia Will Young
I feel like
nice.
Yeah, I feel the J Moore and Preem joint would be nice too. Cause
facts.
Yeah, they both been.
They both seasoned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a good one.
I feel like. Yeah, it's gonna be an aggressive battle.
Facts.
I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say off instinct. I want to say J Moore and Junior, but I don't know.
Will Young might sneak one.
The Will Young and I'm sorry, Genia and J Moore are definitely the
favorites.
The favorites in this, yeah. Gotta be.
Because they're the most
by experience.
Seasoned battle rappers.
Yeah. Preem is very seasoned as well, though. I
like his character on stage.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, they're gonna be punching each other's heads off more than Preem for sure.
God.
I think Genia and Will Young are more of a style clash.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Definitely different how they approach rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Genia is more of a complex pen with imagery and performance as far as like just kind of like bringing you into this character of what Genia is. Will Young is Will Young. He's himself, but very clever, entertaining, punchline. And he likes to angle. We saw him angle very well against Habib. And it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be very entertaining, but it's gonna be interesting to see. They got a little bit more time to wrap this time than they did in the previous round, so you're gonna get them to see them flesh out their approach a little bit more. It's I'm excited. I'm super excited to see. It's gonna be a lot of judging from me
Facts,
on
bro.
this. So we'll be judging the open
CMOS
as well as the battles. But I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna go cook some dinner.
Hey, facts.
Appreciate those that have tuned in and those that will be watching the playback. We will see you October 24th at the Hofheimer for episode 34. Those that are MCs that are tuning in, we still got 6 slots left, man. So let's get that going so we can get the draft popping. And we'll see you guys at episode 34. Peace.
Hit the like button and subscribe, please.
Man, please subscribe. Please subscribe. We need to be.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Facts.